Good morning, everyone. Very warm welcome indeed on behalf of Farm Europe and the Forum for the Future of Agriculture to this morning's event. While we are, of course, today talking about transatlantic cooperation and how that can help drive the agenda on agriculture, enable agriculture to meet the global challenges that it faces, both in relation to farm profitability, productivity, greater resilience, sustainability, particularly in the area of the environment, and of course enabling agriculture to respond to and mitigate some of the challenges of climate change. And of course we have distinguished members of the panel that will be joining us shortly, and I look forward to introducing the Commissioner, the Secretary, and Paolo De Castro to you in just a few moments. But to set the context for this morning, the scene, I can think of nobody better to provide our opening address. He has over 30 years of top government experience in Europe, both on agriculture and trade policy, and indeed what he has developed in the private sector. He has led multinational and bilateral negotiations on behalf of the European Union in those areas, and of course today he is a senior fellow at Farm Europe. João Pacheco, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Mark, and very glad to be here with all of you today. It's a great opportunity that we have today to discuss global agricultural challenges. We have a great panel with us, United States Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Tom Vilsack, Commissioner for Agriculture of the European Union, Mr. Janusz Wojciechowski, and Member of the European Parliament and good old friend, Paolo De Castro. So it will be a great discussion, I'm sure. Climate change is, without any doubt, a top issue. And we see that it attracts all the attention now that we have the COP26 running in Glasgow. It's a top issue, and it's rightly a top issue. It's a great challenge for all of us. I think it's safe to say that both the United States and the European Union agree that it's urgent to mitigate climate change and adapt to the consequences of climate change. I think there is no question about that. Where we might have questions is how to do it. What is the best path to achieve these objectives? And in doing so, I would also point out that what we will do, United States and European Union, will have a broader impact, not only here in Europe, not only in the United States, but worldwide, because we are both very, very powerful world suppliers of food. Now, my understanding is that the United States is heading towards a path that privileges innovation, sustainable productivity growth, optimizing agricultural sustainability across social, economic, environmental dimensions. And I also understand that there is a huge package of incentives currently being discussed in the US Congress. On the EU side, the European Commission has presented its very ambitious Green Deal package. And in that Green Deal package, for agriculture specifically, are very important the farm to fork and the biodiversity strategies. It has binding targets to be achieved till 2030, so in 8 years, with 10% of land being dedicated to biodiversity goals, less 50% use of chemical pesticides, less 20% of chemical fertilizers, having 25% of the land on organic production, and so on. Some studies have shown that the consequences will be very significant in terms of less production, less than 10%, reducing farmers' incomes, increasing consumer prices, increasing imports and therefore limiting the gains in terms of greenhouse gas reductions due to these leakages, and therefore less food security. But the Commission has pointed out and urges caution on analyzing the results of these studies because very important, although non-quantifiable issues are not taken into account, as for instance, new consumer preferences or progress in research. I'll conclude saying that we believe that the transatlantic dialogue is now needed, perhaps now more than before, to try to figure out what could be the best path forward to address these challenges of climate change in a way that would be as much as possible in synchrony between the United States and the European Union. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mark.